Sejun is a student who only focuses on his studies, but one day on the bus, something embarrassing happens. He accidentally wears his dad's underwear, which makes his snake a bit too noticeable. A lady sitting next to him thinks he's pulled out a gun and slaps him, and to make things worse, the whole scene gets recorded. In an instant, Sejun becomes the laughingstock of the entire school. Everyone mocks him and he storms off in anger. While walking, he accidentally bumps into Yugon, the most popular girl in school. She's holding fried chicken, which spills on her jacket. Sejun apologizes, but to his surprise, Yugon isn't upset. At that moment, time seems to stop for Sejun. Later, his friend gives him shocking news Yugon is already dating a university guy. Sejun is heartbroken. His friend tells him that if he wants to be popular with girls, he needs to improve his personality and looks. In music class, Sejun watches Yugon play the piano and starts daydreaming about marrying her and having kids. Meanwhile, a senior student named One Day notices Sejun and suggests they run together for student council elections. One Day says, "People respect power. If we win, Yugon will notice you." Sejun agrees. Then a guy gives him a sketch of Yugon playing the piano naked. Sejun panics and hides it. When the guy asks for the sketch back, Sejun refuses to give it to him to protect Yugon's dignity. They both get caught and are punished with classroom cleaning duty. Sejun feels proud for doing the right thing. But then his stomach starts acting up and he runs to the bathroom. Some girls are gossiping outside, so he pretends to be fine. When the pain gets worse, he rushes to the second floor bathroom, but a group of bullies stops him, saying it's reserved. Inside, a guy is smoking. Suddenly, the most powerful guy in school, Kiko, shows up and scolds the bullies. Everyone's afraid of him. He even breaks one guy's glasses. Sejun secretly smiles, but Kiko notices and calls him over. They walk together and everyone watches with jealousy. Kiko has heard Sejun is running for elections and shows interest in joining him. He puts a hand on Sejun's shoulder, and it feels like Sejun's world has changed. But then Sejun's test results come. He's ranked 32nd and his friends make fun of him. One friend admits he fakes his grades to avoid scolding from his mom. Sejun decides to do the same. His mom is impressed and gifts him energy drinks. Later, Sejun finally talks to Yugon and compliments her piano skills. She smiles and thanks him, but the happiness doesn't last long. A group of boys starts bullying him again. He tries to fight back, but is outnumbered. He ends up saying it's his birthday, so they postpone the bullying. Then he learns from the principal that One Day was only using him for personal gain and never took him seriously. Furious, Sejun ditches One Day and decides to run in the elections with Kiko. Kiko introduces him to another candidate for vice president, the school's smartest but most arrogant girl. They instantly dislike each other. She bluntly says, "I don't like you at all." Sejun is shocked and emotionally hurt. On his way home, Kiko's beautiful sister meets Sejun. She looks at him with curiosity, sits next to him on the bus, touches his hand and twirls his hair, clearly flirting. Just then, a cool biker throws a cigarette at them, and Sejun wishes he could be that cool someday. Later, they go to an amusement park where she ties a pink ribbon on his head and says, "You look so cute." They take selfies and grow closer. But in the end, she leaves in a mysterious man's car, breaking Sejun's heart again. Kiko gifts him an Apple Watch. Sejun wonders, does this mean they're really friends now? The next day during recess, Yugon approaches and asks, "What did you do after school yesterday?" Sejun replies, "I was with a girl." He notices a hint of jealousy on Yugon's face. But in anger, he says, "You have no right to be jealous. We're not even a couple." Then the class president walks up and says, "Even if you become the school's vice president, I'll still be the class president. Don't dream too big." A girl notices the watch and loudly accuses him of stealing it. Everyone gathers around, and a boy even swaps his own watch with Sejun's, convinced it's his stolen one. Just then, Kiko makes a dramatic entrance. Everyone moves aside in awe and fear. With authority in his voice, he says, "I gave that watch to my friend as a gift, and you don't ever mess with my friend again." Then he turns to Sejun and tells him to meet later that night. Later, Sejun stands nearby as some girls gossip about the hottest boys in school. When he realizes his name isn't mentioned, he gives a small cough to make his presence known. The girls immediately move aside respectfully, and for a brief moment, Sejun feels like a mafia boss, admired and feared. That night, Sejun visits Kiko's house and is stunned the moment he steps in. The house is beyond luxurious, complete with a private cafeteria, a library, and 2 full basements. Kiko takes him upstairs to a high-tech soundproof room and gives him an access card so he can come anytime. Sejun finally realizes why everyone respects Kiko so much. He's insanely rich. Kiko makes a simple request. Treat everyone with respect and work as a team, otherwise we'll lose the elections. Meanwhile, the tension between Sejun and the bespectacled girl, the arrogant vice president candidate, continues. A classic love-hate vibe. Like they say, those who fight might just fall in love. In class, chaos breaks out when someone draws a nude sketch of Yugon playing piano. She's furious and suspects everyone. Suspicion falls on a boy named Gante. The drawing has his signature. Gante looks helplessly at Sejun, hoping for help, but Sejun Sejun avoids eye contact. The teacher compares handwriting and confirms Gante is the culprit. Stunned and cornered, Gante suddenly blames Sejun for showing the sketch around. He mocks him, calling him pardillo, loser, and says he has no real friends. Everyone laughs, until Sejun finally snaps. If you're bold enough to draw a girl naked, be bold enough to face the consequences. Gante calls him a traitor, but Sejun doesn't back down. Furious and red-faced, he forces Gante to publicly apologize to Yugon on his knees. Later, Sejun gets a shocking invite to a seniors-only party, something he never expected for a nobody like himself. At the party, Kiko personally welcomes him wearing casual clothes. While Sejun is still in school uniform, Kiko lays down the rules. No phones allowed, no photos, not even checking the time. The place feels like Area 51 secretive, exclusive, and wild. Sejun has to take off his shoes at the entrance. As he steps in, a few girls mock him, assuming he's the cook nearby. A long line of students is depositing their phones. Inside, it's like an alternate universe, neon lights, wild dancing, random people, kissing, absolute chaos. Suddenly, Kiko announces that Sejun and the bespectacled girl are his official election apprentices. The crowd goes wild, girls scream, "Adorable boy," at Sejun and even demand kisses. After the speech, people line up to greet them. Kiko's sister smiles proudly at Sejun. Then a guy with a dog face brings over a blue drink and the crowd insists Sejun drink it. He hesitates, but the pressure is intense. Kiko warns, "If you go home smelling like alcohol, your mom will destroy you." Then one guy insults Sejun, triggering him. Determined to prove himself, Sejun pretends to be brave and downs the entire blue drink in one gulp. The whole room gasps. But it turns out the drink is insanely strong, and it hits his brain instantly. After the wild party, Sejun feels like a completely new person that night. He was literally the king of the party. But as always, perfection doesn't last. An annoying guy who had bullied Sejun in the past shows up again just to provoke and humiliate him. But this time, Sejun's patience runs out. Fueled by days of bottled up frustration, he punches the guy square in the face, one punch that carries all his anger, pride. Finds out someone secretly recorded the entire scene on video. People rush to pull Sejun away, leaving the bully alone with Kiko. The bully laughs and mocks, "Why did you bring that loser to the party?" Kiko, unfazed and cool, responds, "Did you forget I introduced him in front of everyone? He's my friend. You're just boring. Get out of my sight." After that, Sejun is surrounded by girls, the best day of his life. But the alcohol kicks in hard. He blacks out. The next morning, Sejun wakes up naked in an unfamiliar room. At first, he tries to stay calm, but then panic strikes. There's a girl sleeping next to him. He looks closely. Oh my god, it's Kiko's sister. Confused, he struggles to recall what happened, but nothing comes back. Completely shaken, he sneaks out quietly. Later, while chatting with his friend, Sejun casually hints that he spent the night with a girl. His friend laughs it off until Sejun says, "No, really, it happened." Another boy overhears, and soon the entire school is buzzing with the rumor that Sejun spent the night with a girl. Suddenly, Sejun becomes the center of attention. Girls fawn over him in class, he makes heart gestures and earns a new nickname, Latin Lover. But even the class president is impressed, asking him for a selfie. He's constantly surrounded by girls, and for once, he finally feels it. Wow, loved by angels. But where there's fame, there's jealousy. A group of bitter guys corner Sejun, drag him to an old storeroom, and slam him against the wall like a scene straight out of an action movie. Sejun thinks, "Why is life so unfair? Why always me?" Suddenly, the biker guy shows up. Seeing a red mark on Sejun's neck, he immediately senses something's wrong. Without Sejun even asking, he says, "I'll get your revenge." Soon after, the police show up and arrest the bullies. Sejun is left stunned. What kind of black magic did that biker just do? Only 16 days remain until the elections. The next day, the bully returns to school, knee beaten up, dirty, and with rage on his face. He walks straight up to Sejun, but this time, Sejun doesn't flinch. It turns out the biker had taken justice into his own hands. Now, students no longer fear the bully. They stand with Sejun. His popularity skyrockets, while Wanday's continues to fall. Then, a twist. Wanday appears on TV, not for a scandal, but for helping catch a criminal. He's awarded a Citizen Hero medal. The whole school starts seeing him as a hero again. Sejun, though, feels conflicted, but Kiko places a hand on his shoulder and says, "Don't run from fear. Face it, or you'll never grow." And now, the real face-off begins. Sejun, Kiko, the bespectacled girl, his running mate, and Kiko's sister all exchange serious glances at Wanday. Wanday has no idea what storm is headed his way. Later, Sejun walks with the bespectacled girl and asks, "How's your life? Ever had a boyfriend?" She doesn't say much. Not giving up, Sejun asks her to lunch. Just then, Kiko's sister joins them and sits next to him. The bespectacled girl's face shows clear jealousy. As two of them talk, Sejun gets super nervous, like he's on a grilling board. His sister casually calls him cute. As the date continues, he said he remembered that the girl he slept with that night is you. She smiles and gently comforts him. That's when Sejun finally confesses. That was the first time I got drunk in my life. She laughs softly and says, nothing happened. We just slept. Like two angels in love. Hearing this, Sejun blushes hard. As he's about to leave, she gently grabs his hand and gives him a sweet, soft kiss on the lips. His first kiss. In that moment, Sejun feels like he just peeked through heaven's gates. Then, she leans close and whispers in his ear, if you win the election, next time I'll give you a tongue kiss. Sejun's heart races like crazy. He stands there, speechless, watching her walk away. And now, Sejun's ultimate goal isn't just winning the election anymore, it's that next kiss. 5 days to go until the election. And Sejun is more motivated than ever. Just when things were looking up, out of nowhere, bam, a motorcycle slams into Sejun. His head crashes violently against the ground. But instead of breaking him, the accident ignites something within him. A strange kind of fuel of love. Rather than weakening him, it makes him stronger than ever. His team helps give him a full makeover to boost his appeal. Now he looks handsome, confident, sharp, but there's a catch. No one knows who hit him. The identity of the biker remains a complete mystery. Could it be a student from school? A guy? A girl? No one knows. His rivals mock the whole thing, claiming it was just a small scratch, and accuse him of faking the drama for sympathy votes. But suddenly, boom, his bespectacled friend walks in without her glasses, and the whole class is stunned by her beauty. Even Sejun is so awestruck that he starts dreaming of kissing her. However, she coldly rejects all proposals and says she's waiting for her true love, someone real. Meanwhile, both election teams try to win over students by offering crazy campaign promises, free food, longer recess, and chill teachers. Because of these tempting offers, both teams end up neck and neck in the polls. That's when Wondy plays his next move. He releases a TV-style interview video where he shares his personal side, his pets' names, hobbies, family stories. The response is overwhelming. People start calling him adorable, relatable, even husband material. But that same night, the school's security guard finds a horrifying sight. All of One Day's posters have been defaced with blood-red paint splattered over their eyes, like something from a horror movie. The teacher demands to know who's responsible. No one confesses. The red team accuses the blue team. Sejun steps forward and reminds everyone how the red team previously downplayed his accident, implying they could also be behind this sabotage. Tension skyrockets. The teacher makes a decision. Burn all posters. Check the security camera footage. Now only 1 day remains until the elections. Blue team is still 12% behind red team. Sejun doesn't lose hope. Then comes a fiery face-off between two girls. One from red team, one from blue. Red team girl taunts, "You're just a pretty face. You don't actually do anything." Blue team girl shoots back, "Being beautiful doesn't mean I'm dumb. That's the kind of thinking that only truly dumb people have." Sharp and smart, the red team girl is stunned into silence. This clapback goes viral. Blue team's support skyrockets to 51%. But just as the tide begins to turn, chaos erupts again. A student climbs to the rooftop with a suspicious bag. He pulls out a massive banner. Kiko hosted an alcohol party with minors. With a megaphone in hand, he shouts, "Kiko is a criminal!" Student guards rush in, but he dodges all their punches like an action hero. By the time he's brought down, it's too late. Videos and photos from that party have already gone viral on every student's phone. Sejun and his team stare in horror. Panic spreads across their faces. Then Sejun spots One Day standing silently in the crowd, and he knows immediately that this was his plan all along. Now, One Day's popularity shoots up to 57%, while Sejun's team graph plunges sharply. Amid the chaos, Sejun's bespectacled friend speaks up. "Yes, I drank alcohol, but I didn't hurt anyone. A lot of students drink secretly. The only difference? We got recorded." It seems all hope is lost. Defeat looms until someone on the team finds an old video. In the clip, Wondy is seen during a football match, yelling at a player and threatening him with violence if he doesn't pass the ball. His voice is harsh, aggressive, unhinged. They make One Day's death threat video go viral on the internet, and soon, the popularity of both teams becomes equal. Then the two leaders start yelling at each other, each claiming they're the only one deserving of being president. The tension escalates so much that it turns into a physical fight. The professor tries to stop them, but it's no use. The students go wild, throwing water, breaking things. Everything spirals out of control. What was supposed to be a fair competition turns into a barbaric war where winning is the only thing that matters, no matter the cost. The election campaign ends in a violent mess, and the punishment is that all the students have to clean the entire school cafeteria. Then the police arrive. Someone had reported a case of physical assault. A student in the police van appears badly injured. Seeing this, Kiko becomes nervous because he was the one who pressured the boy to delete the viral video. When the boy resisted, Kiko fought him and nearly knocked him unconscious. That's when the truth is revealed. The biker who had always supported everyone was actually Sejun's best friend, and he sacrifices himself by taking the blame in front of the police so that Kiko can win. After this sacrifice, it's time for the final election speeches. People throw eggs at Kiko, but he doesn't back down. He openly admits that yes, he is a narcissist, just like everyone says. He also confesses that the alcohol party really did happen, and he did all of this because Sejun told him that winning people's trust comes from speaking from the heart. That's the mark of a true leader. Voting takes place. A few hours later, the teacher announces the results. Blue team has won by just 1%. The class erupts in celebration as if they've found their true love. Some members of the red team are devastated. A few are on the verge of tears. Sejun is officially declared the school council's vice president. Kiko goes up to Wande and offers a handshake, showing him respect. Sejun, having finally achieved his goal, begins to think about love. He sits next to Yuna, who has also become vice president, and invites her out for a drink. Yuna agrees, but he gets an emergency call from her mother. Her mother tells that the police has offered a reward for someone who could sketch the suspect in Sejuni's hit-and-run case, and they've finally identified the culprit. It's none other than Kiko. He had pretended to be a friend, but he was the one who tried to kill Sejun. Sejun is shocked. He rushes to the school and tells the principal everything, but the principal doesn't believe him. Instead, the principal shows him a video of Kiko removing campaign posters, but they were already torn when he got there. Things just get more confusing. The principal suspects that Sejun might have a split personality disorder. Frustrated, Sejun throws his badge on the floor, his resignation. Kiko later invites him to a party. Sejun attends and secretly films everything from a distance. During the party, Kiko and his friends laugh, drink, and reveal that the bike accident was real all along. Furious, Sejun throws away his vice president letter. Kiko realizes Sejun is at the party, but says it wasn't him who invited him. It was the biker friend. Sejun asks, "Why did you involve me in your campaign?" In response, Kiko splashes water on his face and slaps him, saying, "You were nothing. I'm the one who made you something." Enraged, Sejun throws the watch Kiko had gifted him, and in that moment, it hits him. Kiko had deliberately hit him with the bike to gain sympathy and win votes. Kiko doesn't confess, but when Sejun keeps pressing, Kiko gets even more furious and slaps him again, this time with a tortilla. Everyone is shocked. Kiko claims he only took pity on Sejun, and that's why he let him be a part of the campaign. Though Sejun is injured, he pulls out his phone and reveals he recorded everything secretly. Kiko loses control. He tries to attack Sejun with a bottle, but people stop him. Then he throws a vase, which breaks a window and falls onto the road. No one is hurt, but the police arrive. Sejun's biker friend takes him away. He's still injured. The police arrest Kiko. He screams, cries, and demands for his mom. But Sejun doesn't feel even a second of pity. He knows bad people deserve consequences. After everything, Sejun decides to transfer to another school, someplace where he can study in peace, away from painful memories. The entire class gives him an emotional farewell. Even the ones who used to hate him come forward to shake his hand and wish him well for the future. He leaves, but in his heart, he carries a treasure of friendships and good memories. 1 year later, Sejun appears physically and mentally stronger. He returns to his old school with his younger brother, and memories flood his mind. Elections, friendships, heartbreak, and love. That's when he realizes names, positions, and popularity are all temporary. What truly matters is friendship and love, the things that light up your soul. So if you have a loyal friend, cherish them. If you found love, take care of it. And if you're still searching for love or friendship, don't give up, because every heart that stays open eventually finds its soulmate.